Damn it, you just started recording.
Damn it, I was giving comedy gold.
What? No, we can just use that as a soundbite. That doesn't even need to be the start of the episode. That could be an end bumper where you're just like...
Look, it just... God keeps Skipper poor because if they have any kind of a budget, he is too powerful.
Yeah, he literally just made a Cobra Commander quote.
Hi, and welcome to Blank Bodies, a Vampire the Masquerade V5, tabletop, and horror podcast. I am, once again, your host, Hunter, and as always, I'm joined by...
Another one of your hosts, John.
Sarah.
That's a third host.
And a lore bot.
James.
Hey! We're back from the holidays. Whew. I don't know if I can do this, guys. It's been like over a month since I've shared my half-baked opinions with the public.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if I'm going to get through this hour of talking.
Oh my god.
You know, I believe in you.
Case notes, the Fae is sick.
He's just flummy all the time. That's just kind of how he is.
Yeah. That's how he gets those good purges and all that metal that he makes.
I got allergies.
Just a fucking mucusy boy. Yeah.
You ever see the Mucinex monster?
Yeah.
It's me.
Yeah, just imagine that with like a
That's you in the
hardcore
spirit.
shirt.
Pretty much, yeah.
You are currently wearing one of your grandfather's like 90s tennis
No,
teams.
that-
Not
that's funny.
currently today, but like in your recent clothing repertoire.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's like vintage sportswear.
Yeah, I like vintage sportswear. It's sick.
Yeah. The color blocking, it's specifically very 80s, 90s. Like, is this man going to do some athleisure or is this man off to do a cocaine? Who knows?
I mean, probably both.
Probably both.
How else do you get motivated for the athleisure?
Yeah, fair.
Like DJ Rashad said, "Oh shit, look at that bitch. That bitch wearing K-Swiss."
What?
I don't know that quote, but I think
don't know that brand.
Probably right.
You guys aren't into DJ Rashad? You
No,
know
DJ
Chicago
Rashad.
footwork?
No. DJ Rashad's fine. I just don't know what the fuck K-Swiss is.
It's a type of tennis shoe.
Oh yeah, that's an old tennis brand.
Yeah,
We
they
talk
used to be
about
like kind of fancy, almost like Nikes, but
Okay.
not that fancy.
They-
and then they fell out
Well-
to like Adidas and Reebok and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Well, they got specific for making tennis shoes, but not like just what we call tennis shoes, like shoes
Proper-
specifically made to play on like clay tennis courts.
Ah.
And they still make really expensive like tennis clothes,
Right.
but like they also for a while were just like athleisure wear.
Yeah, they made a lot of sneakers.
Okay, cool. I was like, I don't know what part of any of my working class background made any kind of like, Sarah's people come from a tennis culture. And I'm like, nah.
Yeah, sneakers. I mean, we sold them at a when I worked there.
Okay.
At the doomed, cursed, evil bookstore or for shoes.
The forbidden shoe library.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll cut out the name of that
Well,
company.
just
Okay, cool.
I'd rather you just bleep it because I don't know
Yeah.
why bleeps are exponentially.
They are a
funnier.
lot
No,
more funny.
bleeps are funnier.
I need
Editing
a-
Hunter, please bleep it.
Yeah, I need a good bleep sound effect. I'll just go into like free sounds.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
get
it's
free
fine.
sounds and just get a generic.
I
bleep.
could just record a scream.
Yeah.
I don't think our fans would
No.
like that.
No,
Just
the bad thing is once Hunter gets the power to bleep us, he's just gonna edit things periodically to make it sound like we're saying heinous shit.
yeah, dude. I also found out that I have buttons on here and I can do stuff like this. I've never pressed these buttons before, so we're just... I hope...
Welcome to Blank Bodies.
Hey, what's up, Morning Zoo listeners?
I love how it's taken them this long to push the buttons on the recorder, but I got out of the packaging and they immediately started shoving things in me and pressing buttons.
Well, you don't have
Almost
any red
immediate.
buttons. I've been told my
Yeah.
entire life you don't push random
Yeah,
red buttons.
It's
Red-
a red glowing button.
Yeah.
Red glowing button's scary. I mean, push it in, like...
That's amazing.
Yeah. Anyway.
You're gonna become untethered.
He's got a bit on shit.
I've
He's
been
gonna become too powerful.
I've been untethered since the day I was born.
True.
He wasn't born. He
So,
was born.
previous episode, we had spoken about advantages,
And flaws.
merits, flaws,
And probably one of the best advantages.
how that works in the game, things you can do to like boost your character and build upon a backstory, all that stuff. We decided to make lore sheets a separate episode because it's a whole new feature for V5 and people are fucking confused about them.
Yeah, and there's some lore sheets that I swear we could do a whole episode on a single one.
Yeah, there's lots of lore sheets because of the way that they build upon the story and the meta plot for V5. Almost every single one of them could be its own fucking episode, and I don't have that kind of time. If folks have ones they want us to specifically delve into, please tell us on social media because we're stupid.
Tell Sarah that you want to learn everything there is to know about the cult of Shalim.
Fuck. The thing is, the amount of like deep dive, pre-Judean, early Canaanite religious video essays I've had to delve into to wrap my head around Cult of Shalim just for me running things as a storyteller is fucked.
It's wild. I bet.
Yeah, it's the kind of like pre-Bible study videos that are so like esoteric, like I don't even get like Christian things recommended on my YouTube. It's just been all like weird religious study, like, hey, so you want to look at the occult, right? Here's the Islamicate references for the Aya Fatima, and I'm like, I mean, that's sick. I love it.
I'm in.
But goddamn it, YouTube thinks I'm a witch. What is a lore sheet?
It's a sheet full of lore.
Yes, that
that
is
you
true.
can buy into.
That's the John answer I
Yes.
gave you guys.
Good job.
Hell yeah. The book's more technical answer is a special type of advantage that connects your character straight into the rich metaplots of Vampire.
You know, honestly, my answer said that in less words.
It did.
All right,
I like
roll
to
credits.
say that I'm just efficient.
Yeah, but so each lore sheet is usually a page, and it is one very specific element of the setting or meta plot, and you can buy connections for your character to that group, and it gives you a bonus for doing it.
Yes. The advantages that you can get from the lore sheet grant special abilities, access, or mechanics that can enrich the story and your character. A lot of the abilities and things are either weird stacks of other merits that exist or like special unique things that only happen because you're tied into this plot element. So please, it's much like Magic the Gathering. Read the fucking card, it'll tell you what it does.
Reading the card explains the card.
Sometimes they get kind of wild too, like with my the Toreador that I'm playing.
Yeah.
I have Descendant of Helena, and I got the, what is it? I don't remember what it's called, but essentially it lets you get one performance or whatever at half cost. And I was like, okay, I got a bunch of experience I've saved up. I'm gonna get that and then immediately just max out my performance. Done.
yeah.
Cool. I am charming.
You know, I am a charismatic motherfucker.
Right.
I can state for the record, when you started that statement off, I thought it was very confusing because I thought you were going, yes, I've got a very confusing magic card, my Toreador. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I've been working on a custom commander. It just says Toreador at the top.
It's just
And
like,
it's
how do you
pretty
win?
much-
Gay.
Yeah, it's pay three red because, you know, passion, and kiss everyone at the table. That's it.
Yeah.
The alternate win con. If you make everybody love you.
Right.
Yeah, this is how you win Vampire. You kiss all the homies. Anyways, where does one find these lore sheets? Most time it's in the back of the book. There'll be a big section that says lore sheets.
Yeah.
I think
It's actually one of the only spots in every book that I've seen that they've written that is actually like
Usually there.
relatively well written and says lore sheets, and that's where it is.
Yeah.
I think the only two main books that don't have them are Sabbat and Second Inquisition, and those are both very much
Like
No, I think
ST
there's-
books.
ST books
Yeah, I know.
anyway.
I think
I
the
checked.
Sabbat.
No.
Nope.
Nope.
You're
Really?
thinking of the
Oh,
fan Sabbat book.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the I will state the one that I know that is official canon that does break that just a little bit is Cult of the Blood Gods.
Because it has them with
No,
each cult section, right?
No, not Cult. It's the second one that came out for the Hakata, the religion one.
Was it Forbidden Religions
Yeah,
or Ash
Forbidden
and Bones?
Yeah, Forbidden Religions. It's like in the middle of the book for
Yeah,
some odd
there's a
reason.
couple of them. It's in the middle of the book. Chicago, I think, does it too, where they're in the middle of the book. It look at the table of contents. It tells you where it is.
Yeah.
I believe you all to read.
We've said it before, and we are not being mean. Just get an editor. Sometimes.
This is one of the ones where it's like, it's labeled clearly and it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that deep.
I don't really care where it is in the book as long as it's where it says it should be.
Yeah, and you can find it easily. Just like, they're all, like, lore sheets are there.
Yeah. Small side note, there are some official canon lore sheets that exist in the Winter's Teeth comics. That's where you get info for like the Nick Tuku and a couple other things. Like there's some cool lore sheets for like characters specific to those comics as well.
Cool.
That's dope. There's also lore sheets that are official to LA by Night that are canon.
Yep.
Lev is canon.
Yeah, isn't B-Dave's?
Yes.
Yeah.
I say with
Lev's
Winter's
canon?
Lev is canon.
Oh, cool.
I say with Winter's Teeth, I know that every issue had some kind of bonus. I don't think it's not always a lore sheet,
No.
but there are also like special powers and like
There's some bonus NPCs. There's some bonus disciplines.
Yeah, but if you do what I did and just wait till the collections come out, they put all of them in one section in the back of the book, so you don't have to flip through individual comic books.
I bought the singles. I liked half the reason I bought the singles is the first run of the comics. They had alt covers with one of my favorite comic book artists, and some of them were in foil.
See, I just
That's
have
cool.
too much
Right.
stuff to store.
But yeah, so keep an eye out. There's also a fuckload of really cool lore sheets in Storyteller's Vault Media. We kind of agreed to keep our podcast focused on the raw, like officially printed stuff. So if you want to look into any of that, I encourage it. A lot of it's been really cool. A lot of the creators for that are really dope.
Mm-hmm.
We're not talking about it.
Yeah, not today.
That's not.
Check it out. Unfortunately, we don't have the time, energy, or whatever to talk about all that.
Fan demand.
We're trying to keep this concise so that people that are new to the media can understand it and then expand upon it. If you're an advanced player and you want to look at other shit, go for it.
Yeah, I think that's too much to give a new player to expect them to be like, all right, now read all this Storyteller bullshit.
And there's also like 30 years of pre-published materials that are technically not mechanics, but it's lore, so good luck.
Yeah.
That just...
We're trying to help with that.
Yeah, so, all right, so you found a lore sheet you want to use. You're like, this is cool, what do I do now? Lore sheets cost the exact same XP as advantages, which is 3 XP per dot flat. So if you want to buy a 1.1, it'll be 3 XP. If you want to buy a 3.1, it'll be 9 XP.
And if you want to buy a 1.1 and then later on you want to buy the 3.1, you don't have to buy the 2.1.
No,
You
those
can just
are...
jump to whatever you want.
Yeah, each selection of a thing on a lore sheet, it'll be 1 through 5. Each one of those is counted as a separate merit, and they are self-contained. So if you buy the 3 dot, you do not also get 2 and 1. You have to buy those separately.
Yeah.
Which is probably for the best.
Yeah.
Now, I have a question. Was it your house rule, or is it in-game rule that you're only supposed to start the game with a maximum of 1 lore sheet?
Here's the thing that was driving me nuts when I was writing this. I initially was just like, yeah, you guys can have as many as you want. And then I had read in one of the books, I thought it was somewhere in the core book, that you're supposed to start the game technically with only 1 lore sheet. I could not fucking find it again. I like Control F'd every sentence in that kind of a phrase, could not find it. And I even checked the errata that I had, couldn't find it. It's like, I know for a fact I read that and I wrote it down because I have it copy pasted in my cheat sheet notes. But I didn't source it in my cheat sheet notes because I didn't see the fucking point at the time, and now I am kicking myself in the ass.
Now you're like, no.
So, I've not really had a player have enough XP and stack lore sheets in a way where it would be like game breaking. But lore sheets, much like every other thing in the fucking game, are up to storyteller discretion. If you as a storyteller are just like, hey, so this player's trying to min-max in a way that's not going to be fun for everybody and is going to like absolutely fuck the story we've agreed upon, you can just tell them no.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like that would only be a problem if you're playing with the Sands of Time character creations, where one player's like, all right, I made the standard required points. Every other point I have goes to lore sheet as an elder or whatever.
Because you get 7 dots for advantages, and I'm like, if you just want to drop them all into lore sheets, like, go for it, I guess. Like, you're an adult.
You should probably have like some resources or something.
Well, not necessarily. It's
You
just...
can get resources from lore sheets.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, resources just means you have liquid assets that you can spend on projects, I would say. But, like, unless you take the destitute flaw, it's just kind of assumed you have enough money to, like, make bills and, like, put gas in your car.
What I was trying to say was like something outside of like lore sheets, like contacts, Haven.
Well, yeah, depending on the lore
allies.
sheet, because some of the lore sheets
Do give you.
contacts, allies, backgrounds, herd, various things. Just read the fucking lore sheet; it'll tell you what it gives you.
Yeah.
It's neat stuff.
It's some neat shit. I enjoy
I
it.
feel like, though, it would be kind of hard to... I guess not.
Yeah.
It would be hard to min-max using lore sheets, because while they can be very powerful and they can give you lots of stuff, they're also tying you directly to something. So, like, if you're like, I want to have a fuck ton of money and connections, I'm going to buy every single one on the Ballard sheet.
You are so tied in with Ballard.
You're so tied in with Ballard. Like, the storyteller can be like, cool, you have infinite money, but so does Ballard. In fact, he has twice as much infinite money.
Because
And
all
he
your
sees
money,
you as a threat now, or, you know.
all your money comes through him.
Yeah, you're
Right.
his bitch boy.
Yeah.
And for those listening who don't know, Ballard is maybe of all of the evil rich bastard Ventru archetypes, he is the most evil, most rich, most Ventru of the archetype. Like, he's just a fucking asswipe.
Yeah.
Just a very rotund vampire in Chicago by night who's just the Monopoly man in like the worst way.
Yeah.
He's a great NPC. Fucking love him. He's a great threat, but like, goddamn.
God damn it. No,
He's the kind of guy that would like commission someone to stealthily replace pipes in a neighborhood with lead pipes so that the property value will drop so that he can buy the neighborhood and kick everyone out.
He's got because he's a vampire, he's got the time to run these terrible like schemes to like do a gentrification for like 50 years.
Because fuck it, I've got time.
Yeah.
And money.
It's awful. He's not a good person. Great fucking character. He's got the sad backstory of like, I'm a man of means and capital, and just like nothing was satisfying him, and then he got old and he kept eating and partying and he got really overweight, and then he became a vampire, so now he's dead whilst also being very fat.
Yeah.
And that can come with its own like body horror.
I want to know what his sire was, because like if it's a venture that's just like, oh, I know I'm grooming this person, that venture chose to not be like, hey bro, you could like lose some weight, you could like go on a diet for like a few months, and then we can.
He was from a time where men being fat was a show of power.
Yeah, it's kind of like how large women was used to be the beauty standard because it was a sign that you didn't have to work. It was like why paleness was like, oh, well, that means she's not out in the field all day. It's a similar thing, but I feel like the time period for that in men and women were just off a little bit.
Yeah.
And then for men, it was more recent.
Nah.
Yeah, where it's just like, you need to be cut.
Mm-hmm.
You stop drinking water. I hate that for you guys. But yeah, back to information. Note, some lore sheets have requirements that need to be met. The most common one is you need to be in a specific clan.
Yeah.
If it has a requirement, it will say on the lore sheet. Just read the lore sheet, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't be a childer of Xanathos.
Yeah.
If you are Alessandra.
Yeah, that's not.
Well,
how
I
that
mean, you
works.
could be,
work.
but
No.
I've got some interesting news for you, sir.
Oh god.
I think that's the only requirement if they have a requirement.
Well, there's a couple of them where it's you can be any clan but a Nosferatu.
Oh, yeah.
There's also the I think the high and the low clans too.
But they're all clan bases.
Yeah,
right?
that's a clan base. Like,
Well, they're
pretty much all of
literally
them.
just like, you can't be in this caste system or this caste system.
Yeah, it's just one of those. Just read it because I don't
Yeah.
want to exclude there might be. I'm trying to future proof us because there might be one in the future where they're just like, oh, you have to be a gay or a gender or you have to be X generation.
I mean,
Right.
if they drop Sisters of Cacophony or one of the weird bloodlines, I could see it just being a lore sheet, and it's you have to
No,
be...
Sisters of Cacophony is a lore sheet.
Oh, is it one now?
Yeah,
Oh,
they
fuck
released
that.
it this past October as part of like the World of Darkness, like Vantober.
Yeah,
Nice.
I think it was a Twitter post.
They did make it not as gender exclusive, but Sisters of Cacophony has had men in it for a while.
If I remember correctly, when I was looking into them, it was a rumor that men exist, but no one could prove it.
Yeah, so if you want to have a boy
Yeah,
in
yeah.
there, it's...
Yeah, I think lore-wise, they're just like, but they're trying to be more inclusive because they're just like, fuck it, just play what you want to play.
Yeah, no, the Brothers of Discord is the male version of that. Anyway, sorry,
Yeah.
I've sidetracked. But yeah, make sure go over lore sheets with your storyteller to make sure everything's Gucci, and some of the lore sheets will require you to have connections to people, groups, institutions, various things in the canon. Put that on your relationship map.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So it's like, do you want to have Helena on your relationship map? There's a way to do that. There's a bunch of cool shit.
As a player, yes. If I knew it as a kindred, probably not.
No. She look at you and go like, oh boy, you as a snack. And then you're like, I wish you would stop saying that.
Yeah.
Because, you have a reputation.
Reputation. So we've been covering certain lore sheets in our clan deep dives because there's some that are exclusive to clans. And those are kind of fun things to highlight if you want to add more clan flavor into your soup of your clan character concept. There's also a bunch of lore sheets that shit doesn't matter. So we're going to talk about some of those now.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
These are some ones that we just were like, these are neat. We want to cover them, and they're probably not going to get covered in a clan episode. If there's any that folks want us to cover more in detail, like specifically, happy to do so at a later date. This is kind of a crash course.
Yeah.
So the first thing we're covering is the circulatory system. This is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
It's a cool one.
It's cool, but it's also super fucked up.
Yeah.
It moves blood around.
Uh-huh. It moves blood. It commits an Andrew Tate crime. Topical.
Right.
So, for those who are not in the know, the circulatory system is a vampire black market blood trade which does involve human trafficking. So,
Yeah.
and, extreme body exploitation. So if that's something you don't want to deal with,
Trigger warning.
that is fair. Trigger warning.
Please
But
talk to your ST.
if you want to get into a literal metaphor of capitalism, strap in. It's great. I love it. But you get some perks for being involved with the dirty, gritty, terrible business of trading your fellow man for money.
Yeah.
The 2.1 is called Little Black Book. You get a book detailing the records of blood experiments. So this gives you a +1 to investigate alchemy, medicine, or science tests to track down or test specific vintage.
Oh boy.
Yeah, the whole segment talks about blood like it's wine, which is like creepy. Like, oh, we're trying to separate ourselves from the cruelty of the production that we are doing. This has no commentary on factory farming whatsoever.
No, definitely not.
This is Craig. We just met him.
Yeah. Also, this will have the research time needed for 2 or 3 dot blood alchemy formulae. So if you're a thin blood, this is super helpful. But also, you're tied in with the circulatory system, and somebody might just get real hyphy and be like, he's getting a little powerful. What if we crunched him down into a snack and sold him?
What if we had Craig bars?
Oh no, not Craig bars. I feel like those are going to be high in sodium. All right, so the 3 dot is called A Farm Upstate. You know of a system farm full of valuable vessels, ones with potent resonances, and maybe even dyscrasias. If you want more info on resonances and dyscrasias, we have an episode about blood resonances in V5.
Yeah, just look back through the episodes.
You, as a player, have access to these vessels as a 4 dot herd, unless you overtly take over the farm.
No, it's once a week.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can have the herd once a week, unless you're like, this is my farm now. I am the captain.
Yes.
Yeah, you can permanently gain that, but that might be...
Oh, you can finish what you're saying.
Yeah, I was about to say, that might be... This is where there's difference and merit in lore sheets versus just buying them out raw. One, there is a massive advantage to this herd. You are paying less for the 4 dot herd, and it does give you the ability to be like, I have the luxury herd, but there's the consequence for being greedy with the luxury word. It's already tied in, and it gives the ST something they can play with.
I mean, that could just be a whole chronicle there, is the Cardi's like, oh, hey, fucking Steve in our party's got access to this really sweet gig that's just outside the city. What if we took it over?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I say, have you guys seen the movie Thirst from 1979?
Is that the one with David Bowie?
No, it's on Shudder, but it's really good. It's about the descendants of Elizabeth Bathory running a human farm.
Yes.
And a woman who gets turned into a vampire and brought there, and just so this is how we feed, and it's just livestock humans being drained
so it's
for blood.
circulatory
And
the system.
Yeah.
The movie.
But in the 70s.
Yeah, the movie in the 70s.
Hell yeah.
It's Australian. It's really good.
That sounds
If
very
you're
fun.
into that kind of thing, I would recommend
I
it.
do love Aussie horror. It's really good. But yeah, the last one I wanted to cover from this one is the 4 dot called Secure Transit. The system uses armored vehicles and vans with armored ghouls to transport vessels. You have access to one of these vans. You can secure travel for one or more kindred with little effort.
Cool.
Again, this is one of those, this could just be a whole fucking chronicle.
Right.
Of just, we own this securities travel.
Yes, and the one that I know I suggested, but I believe we all love, Goblin Roads.
Yes, that is our next one. That one is located in the Chicago Folios. The circulatory system's in the core book. I forgot to mention that. I am sorry. I have failed you all.
Drink.
You're
Yeah.
forgiven.
Thank you. Goblin Roads. The roads between Chicago and Milwaukee are dangerous. To avoid the lupines and various spooky things happening in this area, drivers, known as psychopomps, travel through the quote-unquote weird to move people safely.
Cool shit.
A portion of Beckett's Jihad diary covers a trip like this, early on in the novel, where the driver's just I'm on acid, and it's you're a vampire. He's like, I know.
I know, fuck you.
Get in.
Get in.
So if you want a vibe check where it's okay, cool, we gotta take switchbacks and weird country roads and take lefts and stop and then give an offering at this altar, don't ask questions, keep going.
Right.
If you like that kind of weird esoteric shit, but make it Midwest.
Which kind of does make it spooky-er for some
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going through, and you have to stop at this soy field, and there's a dilapidated barn, and there's creaky noises, and you're like, is it just the barn creaking? Is it somebody with a meth lab? is it a monster?
Yeah, right.
No, there's definitely been parts of my well-spent youth driving in cars with people high on psychedelics through backwoods
Spooky?
areas like this,
Yeah,
and
it's
then
real
them just
spooky.
stopping and being like, "We got to look at this thing I saw the other day."
Yeah.
I'm like,
You're just like, okay, I guess we're stopping.
Okay.
that's like
Yep.
30 pairs of shoes thrown into a tree for seemingly no reason. Yeah.
Yeah, I like those.
Hell
You
yeah.
remember that time we found there was that intersection, we all went camping, and there was that intersection, the entire intersection was just covered in shoes that
Yeah,
people thrown.
Shoe trees are a weird,
Mhm.
weird, like, woods people thing.
Yeah. There's like for both like covered, like some of these shoes looked like old like buckled leather shoes that people had thrown up there. I don't know how old they were, but like
Yeah, that was
just
crazy.
fucking nuts.
It's like,
You
some
gotta
of these
think
are
about how-
clearly from the 30s.
Yeah,
You got to think about how the wildlife feels about that.
right. Yeah,
It's like, what the fuck?
Birds and shoes.
I'm sure the birds love it. Honestly, though.
Oh,
like,
yeah, yeah.
good
They're
nest
like,
areas.
yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Good.
But some of the goodies you can get from partaking in the Goblin Roads
Yeah.
is Summon the Ferryman, which is a 2-dot. You have arranged with the Prince Decker of Milwaukee, who is a gang girl, or Rose Hernandez, a gang girl from Chicago, or a psychopomp themselves to travel safely between the two cities.
I would also say if you're not sending your game in any of those cities, you could rearrange it to work between any two
Mhm.
cities that might be taking place in your campaign.
In
There's no reason you couldn't go Arizona to like
Texas.
Vegas, you know?
Yeah.
Like you can pick wherever you want. I
Yeah.
think you would just have to create the NPCs.
Yeah, like,
Yeah. Because
My thought for the Goblin Roads has always been kind of like, I personally like the idea of you get access to the Goblin Roads. The Goblin Roads are weird back road places, almost like liminal spaces of roads,
Yeah.
regardless of where you're at.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
just
yeah.
may be higher difficulty if like normally you hang out near Chicago and for some reason you're finding yourself in New Mexico. You still have the basic ideas of what you need to be doing. So you'd still be able to do it. It'd just be harder. is
yeah,
how
who,
I would
said,
like to run
who
it.
says those cane damn UFOs aren't just fucking Faye, just
Right,
going
yeah.
out on a fucking lark with people?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm totally not as a storyteller weaponizing this for a campaign I'm working on currently that is in production. It's fine.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yay! I am not making people afraid to look at trees.
I like trees.
I like
You
trees
should
too.
not.
Just don't look into them. You can look at them, just not in.
I have looked deep into the soul of trees before.
And you wonder why everything about you. Yes. The other one that I thought was fun is Weird Ally. It's a 4-dot. You have led journeys or got separated from your psychopomp. Either way, you have a new friend. This is a 4-dot ally that is some sort of lupine, mage, wraith, changeling, or something even weirder.
Cool.
Yeah.
I actually have a character that might need reworked a little bit because I didn't know that was the 4-dot for this. That
Yeah.
would be easier than what I did was just buy the ally straight out. But now that there's specifically a way to do that.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. Where you're just like, I just have this friend that like thinks I'm really cool. I went on this road trip once. He's fucking weird. Don't ask questions. I understand he smells like Cheese Whiz. It's fine.
Make sure you tell him that he can call you by your name. Don't give him your name though, okay?
If he asks for a moment of your time, don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't need a moment.
Because he will choose when that moment is.
Right.
And you're not going to like it.
Can I have your name? If I can have yours first.
Can I have your pronouns? That's how you solve that problem.
Yeah.
Yes, you can have my pronouns. Another one that I think is fun that hasn't really gotten a lot of coverage. It is from Let the Streets Run Red, which is one of the other Chicago Splat books. It's called Kindred Social Media Influencer.
Fun.
I love this so fucking much.
I've seen so many players do this kind of character and not use this.
And not use this lore sheet. No, it's so
So.
good. While social media is banned by the Tower, there are those who are neonates and fledglings whose masquerade may even require them to use the power of the internet. Oops. For their benefit, of course. You know, just like, if I'm gonna make money, why not?
Right.
While you don't have to be on the camera yourself, this is a risky game to outwit the Elders and the Second Inquisition.
Yeah.
I just read the words, well, you don't have to be on camera. I'm like, how many vampire VTubers are there? There's gotta be so fucking
Yeah,
many.
vampire VTubers. Well, there's also like chunks of the internet that I like where it's like cozy streams on YouTube where it's like people cleaning like old electronics or refurbishing like old gear. Like I found this, what was it like, what I saw recently was like a fucking, this like pasta presses where you like spin the wheel and it like flattens the dough.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, he found one from like 1890 that he like resalvaged and like cleaned up.
Cool.
And like, yeah, you could just be a guy who does that and you like your hands are on camera, but nobody's gonna know who the fuck you are.
Right.
Or you're just like, I am somebody who does floral arrangements and you take photos and you put them on Instagram. Like, there's tons of shit you can do and not expose yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could be one of those like YouTubers who has like a 3-frame animation whenever they talk. I mean, 90% of the time those people are also furries, but
That happens.
Yeah, the PNG. There's been a vast rise of PNG YouTubers recently.
Yeah, no, I'm down for the PNG and the VTube folks where it's just like, look, I paid an artist to do this really cool animation
Or
and I don't have to fucking put on eyeliner to be on camera. Sick. I could be in my PJs and I'm like, yes, you're winning. Good job.
it's also just like you could be like a borderline like a production company where it's like, I know how to run cameras, set up lights, do your makeup, all this. You got the charisma though, so you're going to do the talking.
Yeah, there's tons of ways to go about this. A couple of things from it that I thought were neat is one called niche following. Your knowledge in a specific field grants you online authority. You get +2 influence in your chosen area of expertise. Once per story, you can write an article, post a video essay, host a stream, various other things to gain a dot in resources.
Nice.
So yeah, that's just one of those like, it's kind of a neat like... build out the character, get some extra bonus things. It's also a cheap way to get an extra resource dot and not have to like commit to it.
Right. I like that.
I was stretching.
Okay. Yeah, the other one is collabs and sponsorships at 4 dots. Your internet clout nets you sponsors and brand deals. You get 2 dots in fame, 2 dots in allies, known as fans, and 2 in contacts, which is a brand contact for something that you've promoted.
Cool.
Hashtag non-spawn.
Oh my gosh.
You're trying to get into like the Pentex own company and you're like, well, actually, I know their social media manager. I just did a spot for their eye cream the other day.
Yeah, you're like the social media manager that I work with for this cereal brand, Mystical Forks, is also the same social media guy as this guy that works for Pentex Shell Company. We're in.
Yeah, I've got a 2-dot contact from Raytheon Knife Missiles.
Oh no, that's just Pentex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, like,
I've got a Pentex subsidiary.
I've got my inside man thanks to the knife missile commercials I did.
Also, I just want to point this out. I don't know a better time to do it. But if you look up Pentex on Google, I think it's really funny that it brings up a real energy supplier in Texas.
No! No!
That, and then the third result is World of Darkness. And this is from someone who, like, searches World of Darkness shit a lot. So you'd think they'd be like, oh, that's what he wants. But no. Oh, that's nice. They're closed for New Year's weekend.
Oh, good for them.
Well,
I just think it's funny because it's happened every time I try and look up, like, the Pentex stuff. It's just, like, Texas Oil Company.
Well, see, that's the thing. You don't have to worry about it being real because if it was Pentex, it wouldn't be in Texas. That's not a good energy company.
I don't know.
It's a good evil energy company.
It is a good evil energy company.
It's not an effective one. Pentex is at least effective.
But maybe they're being effective in what they're trying to accomplish.
It's a cover because they're trying to research something deep down in the Gulf of Mexico that should not be awoken.
Blue.
Ted Cruz?
He's already up.
Yeah, unfortunately.
How do we know that's his full form?
Speaking of Ted Cruz, though, our next...
Yeah, so I decided to end on a downer. Sorry, guys.
Oh, God.
Black Site 24 from Chicago by Night, page 264. The historic Chinook Air Force Base near Chicago was taken over by First Light agents and used as a black site to store, interrogate, and quote-unquote research blank bodies. Your character knows something about this. This, unfortunately, is based off of the actual black sites that were set up by various people involved in the Chicago police departments. This is a real problem. You can Google it. It has a whole Wikipedia page and several newspaper articles. It's fucked.
Bananas.
It's super fucked up. Chicago Police Department does enough fucked up shit that it's like you as a storyteller don't have to make anything up. If you're just like, I don't know what to do with my plot in my Chicago game, just Google Chicago PD. They'll give you all the plot points.
Yeah.
Chicago PD is nuts. I feel like they don't get the same kind of evil riz that
Like
LA
NYPD
or
or
LAPD does,
yeah.
but they're right up there.
I almost, well, not almost, because I saw through his ruse very quickly. But there was a dude trying to give drugs out at the Chicago bus station once.
Oh my god.
And homie was like sketch as it was, because like he just approached me and was like, "Hey yo, you do drugs?" And I was like, "No, why?" And he was like, "You want some?" And I was like, what?" And he opens up this little baggie and he's got a pipe, like a weed pipe. He's got a pill bottle full of question mark pills. He's got a little sheet of like dabber paper in there, and then he's got a couple other things, and it's all in there. And he's like, "Yeah, they're searching my bus, and like I don't want to get caught with this. You want to take it?" And I was like, "No, I'm good, bud." And the dude sitting next to me, who I had just been like randomly chatting about Chicago shittiness, who I'm pretty sure was also a gang member, because like I saw people walk past and he flashed signs at people a few times and stuff like that. So pretty sure. Looks at the guy and he goes, "You're a fucking narc. Get out of here." And the guy's like, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not." He leaves. Like 5-10 minutes later, I look over and he's standing next to the corner of this alley, talking to this dude with a badge on his hip and just like freshly shaved, bald, button-up shirt, khakis and everything. And I was like, "Knew it." Knew it.
Yeah, exactly. I was amazed you and that gang member weren't like, "Narc," just as loud as possible in public, just bad actor.
Go.
One of my favorite internet pictures, I think it's from Lollapalooza, but it's just from like drug agents at the concert, and it's just like 3 like slightly overweight, middle-aged, like early 40s dudes in like Minions t-shirts.
Oh god.
But like, and they do not look like they should be at Lollapalooza. It's really good. And then someone just posts like, "I found the 3 cops this year," and it's just the 3 of them like standing there against a wall, like trying to look cool.
In Minions t-shirts.
In Minions t-shirts.
Nice.
But like the full yellow t-shirt with just like the eyes and the smile on it.
Oh,
like,
the worst version.
Yeah, I was about to say, I feel terrible. But I just want to be like, hey, just in case for some odd reason the pig dogs are listening, you do know, like, some individuals hire people to spot narcs.
Oh, yeah.
Just saying. And they're real good at it.
Yeah, no, like I've done that kind of stuff at protests, because there's almost always some undercover dick that's like, "Hey, you should throw bricks. Look at this convenient brick pile." And I'm always like, "No, dude, don't do that." That's
standing next to the brick pile with a picket sign that has just an arrow that says "Free bricks."
Free bricks.
That's when you back your truck up and build a new patio.
Yeah. You're just like, "Free bricks, sick," and just
I had a couple friends that did that with bait bricks. This
hell
past
yeah.
couple
Yes.
years.
Just be like, "These bricks are free, correct?"
Sick.
Cool.
Thank
I
you.
need to do some redecking.
I'm gonna build a fire pit at home now. Sick.
I have been here for a brick style oven.
I got the best pizzas.
Fucking the best pizzas, man. Just fucking mwah.
Oh yeah, back to Black Side.
So back to tragedy.
Right. We brought
Perpetuated
you
by
guys
the
up
government.
so you'd have further to fall now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the paranoia strikes deep. It's a 3.1. Somehow, some way, you know about the existence of first light activity in the area. Contacts for expert in first light or other government vampire hunting organizations you may use them once per story before they disappear. So you just now have like a smoking man as a contact.
All right.
That is like a fed that you can just be like, "Hey man, what the fuck?"
I got one of those.
Yeah, you do.
Ellis does.
Yeah, Ellis in our little Chicago game, he's got a homie like that. And I'm just like, I love that shit. You just go full like deep throat.
Yeah.
Fucking weird.
I like
Or
it.
Just just like,
Ah,
I've
yes.
seen too far.
The next one, the darkest one.
The darkest one. It is the one that got away. You escaped Black Site 24.
Hell yeah.
You have immunity from first light to induce Rorschach, which is the vampire I'm afraid of fire
Ape shit
thing.
test.
Where you just go, fuck, no. Because, apparently in the Black Site, they're just like, what if we just keep waggling fire at the vampires and just see what the fuck happens? Apparently they did enough to you that you're just kind of like, yeah, no, I'm good. You just
Exposure
stare at it.
therapy.
Yeah, which is badass, but also Trauma.
Poor guy.
You have a hard time clearly recalling what happened due to the trauma of the events whilst in the black site. Once per story, you may ask the ST for a clear moment of memory.
Again, very X-Files, very like Scully trying to remember what happened to her in season 1.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, I got abducted, what the fuck? Or, just I'm like, yeah, so if you want to have like a cool like tie-in for Hunter or Second Inquisition stuff, there are some cool things for that exist that you're just like, this is terrifying. They were warning us about this before they put the book out.
Uh-huh.
I feel like that would be a real good. Again, you definitely clear this with players because whoa. But like, I feel like you could go real nuts with that too. I mean, up to like Unit 731 kind of style stuff to these vampires. You know,
yeah.
Like, what happens if can he regenerate if we just burn one of his arms off? Let's
Like
find out.
How many times can we like cut his hand off and it grows back?
Right.
Like, how much blood do we feed them to maintain regeneration, or can we feed them just enough blood that they don't regenerate but they're still alive?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some
Nuts.
like really fucked like Tuskegee experiment level, just like
It's not spray them with liquid nitrogen.
Yeah, it's not like the CIA through Operation Paperclip like just brought a bunch of Nazis over and then continued their experiments because they thought it was neat.
Yeah.
Nah.
It's just like,
that didn't happen.
let's redline vampires into seeing how far before they die.
Oh god, yeah, the amount of fucking feds that are just being fed various amounts of vampire parts.
Yeah.
And just because they don't know how Embrace works. And they're just like, what if we eat them?
What if we eat them? Oh god.
All right, everyone at First Light, there's a special lunch at the cafeteria. Make sure to get the meatloaf.
It's a double blind test, and it's like, yes, those cupcakes are red velvet.
Good.
Yes.
Oh shit, you've got a pay raise, but you've been demoted to prisoner.
So yeah, there's loads of really cool lore sheets that get into all sorts of cool shit. Like we've talked about the Week of Nightmares with the Red Star. There's like the Bahari is a cult that has its own lore sheet.
God, the Hakata episode.
Yeah, that's gonna.
The Hakata just is lore sheets.
Yeah.
The
That's all it
Hakata
really
is lore sheets, and I do like that one of the lore sheets does specifically get into parts of the Hakata that existed in the quote-unquote nude world before white people showed up.
Mm-hmm.
So, a big old Tenochtitlan
Cool.
And
thing, and I'm like, I love...
Yeah, and the Somdi who are just like, we were here before you, fuck off.
Yeah, no. I love the lore that gets into, like, Central, South America, Caribbean stuff in the World of Darkness, because it's, like, fucking metal as shit. It's so good.
One of my first characters was the Somdi. They're really fun.
They're super cool. But yeah, there's tons of stuff. This is
I have the hat.
Yeah, so if you have advantage dots and you're just like, I'm not vibing with any of the, like, oh, I want to have money or friends. It's like, grab a lore sheet.
Or a
You
penthouse.
can get them. Yeah.
It snowballs into bunches of great stories, and you can kind of interlap people's lore sheets and get all sorts of cool shit. It's a good time.
I mean, I personally don't feel right if I make a character that doesn't have at least one.
Also, I know I mentioned it earlier in the episode, but I would if you're building out your own city, this is a really good way to get your players invested in the original characters that you're placing in your city. You can always take like some of these names, like the Ballard sheets or whatever, and make it like a Venture or shit. He could be a rich fucking gangrel. It could be, but you could someone who could offer these same abilities and help to your players, and then make it your characters. And then by encouraging them to take them, they're invested in your original city.
Yeah, you can also, like, if you have veteran players that are used to people like the Vorman sisters or Ballard or other major NPCs, you can take those lore sheets, and because they have chunks of them where they're basically like literally franchising things where you're like, cool, you're in a make-em-up city that you're building for your campaign just to avoid like continuity whatever's, or you just have an idea you want to run. You just be like, oh yeah, no, you have that deal that lets you open a club that's part of like the Asylum franchise.
Yeah.
So that's a good way to be like grounded, so there's some sort of framework. Or, you can just take the notes from a lore sheet and go like, yeah, I know it says that it's technically for Milwaukee, but what if we just did it somewhere else?
Right.
Yeah.
What if we put it up and pushed it somewhere else?
I mean, I haven't looked a lot of the fan-made stuff, so I'm not going to step on their toes or anything, but I think the easiest way, if you want to make your own lore sheets, is just look at like the dot advantages they give you and just maybe remix those around to fit your setting and your story without having to really create anything, because you're just like, well, this gives you this, this, and this. I'll take that one dot, that move it to my new sheet, give them that, but it's a different character giving it to them. That kind of, or you're part of a different group in my city, and I think
Yeah.
That's not bad.
That's a big struggle I've heard from people who are trying to run their own cities is getting people invested in them when there's not lore for them to sit down and read out of a book.
Yeah.
And I think that would be a really good way to hand it. Or even as an ST, you could be like, hey, I'm giving everyone an extra lore sheet, and it's about a character that I've put in this city. So now you have a connection to this city, and they get a mechanical bonus from it, and that's going to give them all that investment right there.
Yeah, there is nothing wrong with taking a lore sheet that already exists and just reskinning it for
No,
a
yeah.
different fucking NPC because it's your fucking game. Also, should we cover homesteading, do you think, in the future? Because that's a mechanic from Chicago by Night that I found was really good.
I think that could be a cool episode.
Hell
I
yeah.
don't know
actually
a whole
don't
lot
like
about
know
it.
barely anything about homesteading, so
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
in.
Yeah,
yeah.
we definitely could do
We
an
can do
episode
that.
of it. Yeah, because you told me about that in your Chicago game, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, it's great. Between lore sheets and homesteading, you can really like build out a city in a way that's like really tangible and a little intuitive. So it's like, oh yeah, I have to pay attention to what neighborhoods I'm in because that affects certain things in the game. And then some of that might boost things that I already have lore sheets on. Some of that might cause me to have problems because it's like, oh, I'm tied in with I'm going back to Chicago. It's like, okay, cool. I have a Ballard lore sheet. Oh no, there's a thing going on with Al Capone because Al Capone is canon. Uh-oh.
Yeah, and they're at odds.
Yes.
So
It would take a little extra work from us, but I think it'd be cool to do an episode where, like, maybe a 2 episode where we go over talking about, like, what goes into building your own city, and then we present our own city for people to use. I think that could be fun.
Hell yeah. That sounds good. But yeah, lore sheets. I could, if... I don't know if people would want us to make a Blank Bodies lore sheet just for funsies.
Yeah, we'd have to figure out what that entailed, but yeah.
What the fuck would that entail? Oh, no. Actually...
5 dot touched by John. That's
you,
all you get.
You
I've
get
touched
moved
you.
by John, and... oh, God.
Once per story, something happens.
Some people think that's really cool, but some people think that's really gross.
And it's a mystery box.
Yeah.
Because, you know, that's what stories need is mystery boxes and circumventing expectations. Because that's how stories work. Yes,
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
But yeah, if you have ideas of things we should put on a Blank Bodies lore sheet, you can let us know on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll make a post about it.
Or, yeah, because we're on Twitter at, oh my God, I am good at social media, at @blank_bodies. You can also tell us on Instagram at Blank Bodies Pod. You can tell us on TikTok at Blank Bodies Podcast if you have ideas and you want to yell at us in a short form video format.
E.
Go for it.
Hell yeah, do that.
Oh, don't forget, we got to update our sheet. We now have our beautiful Tumblr.
We do
Yeah.
have Tumblr. You can create a whole Tumblr board about what you think should exist on the Blank Bodies lore sheet that we will build,
Cool.
can build, may build.
And
Might build.
we're on Tumblr at Blank Bodies Pod.
At Blank
Yeah.
Bodies Pod. Wow. That Hunter's mostly running that. So if you want to talk to Hunter on Tumblr.
Yeah, I mostly post my original Christmas music, but sometimes it's podcast related. Also just posted some unrelated memes. It's fun though.
It's a good time. We're here for the hoo-hoos and the ha-has. We also have a Patreon. If you appreciate us and the work that we do, you can give us money. I appreciate that.
I'll tell you I think you're cute.
Yeah.
Or I won't.
Yeah.
You know, depending on which you
Show me
prefer.
your pets.
Yes. Yeah, we have different tiers on the Patreon, and some of them give you little titles on our Discord. The Discord is free. You can come hang out with us, and I feel like the community is pretty homey and chill, and we got a book club and stuff in there.
I like you guys.
There's a book club.
Yeah.
There's tons of games going on.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the amount of like games that are being run that people are just like, let's run this. I'm like, I have a social media personality I'm trying to do, but I want to play in all these games.
Yeah, I've had to limit myself to 2.
Yeah.
2.
I was in 3 for a while, plus our Shadowrun game. It's a lot. We're taking a break from one of them right now, though. So.
But yeah, we also have Patreon channel if you want to talk to us more directly about game stuff. We're happy to do that. And also have stuff for voting. We're trying to get back into the cycle for doing the movie nights. We're sorry, everybody. We've been bad. We've been naughty. I'm sorry.
And by the time this episode is coming out, we are going to be at Ice and Dice.
Yeah.
We're not making a big official thing about it, but if you are at that convention, come say hi. We'll post about our picture of our goofy mugs so you can find us. But
Yeah, we will be posting adventure stuff.
yeah.
Thanks Paralyze for our music.
Yeah, it's a ripper.
The music is a ripper. It
That's
is a bop.
great.
A bebop.
A bebop, ba-doop, bop, boop. Yes.
Yeah, fucks.
Hell yeah, it does. Paralyze, they do fuck.
Yeah.
Most probably.
This musician fucks. we have the interview series. You're able to go back and listen to the various people that we've talked to about their projects, from small creators to slightly bigger creators. And we got some stuff in the pipes that we're excited about. We're not going to spoil it.
Yeah.
Next week it'll be a cool one.
It'll be fun. It'll be exciting. It might even be a little cosmic. That's
trippy.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, if you want to get involved in that, blankbodies@gmail. Talk to us directly. We can organize some stuff. We're here to share in the community of World of Darkness and other spooky ooky TTRPG adjacent projects.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Also, you can join the Discord and play Darktide with me.
There's been so much Darktide recently, and then people also sharing photos of their bones.
Yeah.
Also,
yes.
Deep Rock still all the time.
Deep Rock.
Yes.
Hopefully again, computer will happen sometime, so I can either Darktide or Deep Rock with y'all.
Yeah, you
Rock
can
and Stone,
Darktide or
brother.
Deep Rock. I might just drunkenly play Goose Game.
Yeah.
Play some Deep Tide.
Drunk goose, rake in the lake.
I love it how much I have talked about not wanting. I am the exact opposite of anyone that is supportive of the Imperium, and then just every time I talk about it, just watching John and the Darktide Bros just being like, Xeno scum!
I think it's hilarious. I mean, like, in all reality, fuck the Emperor, fuck the Golden Throne. Wah, guys. Wah is the only thing that matters.
Much appreciate support from the community for doing things. It allows us to do this, and also I'm studying Vampire the Masquerade academically now, which is
Hell yeah.
horrifying.
That's so sick.
It's horrifying. Goodbye.
Oh, that did sound
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Fuck
That
off.
sounds nice. Good job.
Goodbye.
That sounds.
I need
that
to go
sounds
buy
good.
booze for the party.
Oh my god,
I
another
need
party.
to download drugs.
I got a hangover from last night's party, and
We'll
here
get you
we
a
go,
sandwich and
doing
then
some
more booze. This is how we
Dude,
live
you-
that thug life.
You
It's
got to
true.
get it together, dude. We're eye-dozing tonight.
Oh no!
Bye.
Bye.
I'm gonna cuck the
Bye.
hat man.
Mwah.